wandering through the forest trying to figure out what happened to the people who maybe evaporated, and we came on this big puddle, which also had a portal in it, which then had an evil sort of a water god in it, and we decided that the best course of action would be to shoot her. And then so many things happened. I don't know. Tabarin flew in the air, and my wolf grew 9 sizes and was attacking watery things, and then Brieg turned into 3 Briegs and stabbed lots of things, and Harbeck was able to punch farther than his hands, and now Tabarin fell in the hole, and we're trying to get him back. Yeah.
Yeah, that pretty much covers everything that happened in the last session fairly well. Okay, so combat has just ended. Tabarin has just fallen through a watery portal that appears to be slowly sucking up all of the water in the area, and the rest of you are going to do what? Initiative is over. I'm
acting like he has fallen through a hole in the ice. I've got rope out of my backpack. I've dropped one end through the portal. I'm laying flat, holding the other end of the rope, hoping that he grabs on and I feel a tug so we can pull him out. I'm fishing for Tabarin right now is what I'm doing.
Fishing for Tabarin.
Brieg, are you okay, lad?
Now that all the things are dead, am I still very angry?
You have some a little bit more control than you had in the past because you have become slightly more attuned with the alternate side of who you are. But you are in the process of calming.
So Brieg looks at you and he stands up tall with his chest puffed out and kind of in this flex pose, and he goes, "I'm fine. Go find your friend."
I'm Batman.
Baravar may or may not talk like Batman. It's fine.
Yeah. I just didn't want you to fall in the portal.
Do we need to sing you a song and
Harbeck says,
touch your palm
while
or something?
backing away slowly. I just didn't want you to fall in the portal.
Harbeck, nothing's tugging on my rope. Maybe you hold this end and I'll climb down it.
I don't. No?
You won't hold this end? Okay, I'll tie it to a tree.
If you insist on climbing down, I can hold the rope, but I don't think that's wise.
We gotta get him, and he's in there.
The last time Tabarin disappeared into a different dimension, he got home just fine.
So we think that was science, and now he always does that?
I think that sending more people into the portal, it better be all of us or none of us. Are we all going? I don't want to get split up any more than we are.
First try pulling a bit of the rope out and make sure that it actually comes back if we pull.
Okay. Pulling the rope up.
The rope comes all the way out of the portal. It's all rope. It's the same length.
All right, well, I'm the lightest. It's the same length?
Yep.
Of rope. Yep.
Awesome.
Is it wet?
I'm the lightest. And now I'm gonna practice my Boy Scout skills and tie the quickest bowline. It takes me 2.4 seconds.
Around yourself?
Around myself. Then I say, hold on, and go jump into the portal.
Okay. Harbeck, help me hold this.
But Harbeck helps hold it.
Whee!
Help.
And sits in the water.
Okay.
And now my pants are wet.
Brieg needs to roll a perception check, and I'll tell him what he thinks. In just a second.
A perception check. I didn't know that I was going to have to look for him.
Hopefully he's looking for you.
A terrible plan.
Brig's eyes
I'm
only
the
see
lightest and the
weak
least
points in
perceptive.
physiology. That is their only skill.
Well, if we needed someone to see him, we had to send a Tabarin after Tabarin.
Okay, so you find yourself submerged in water. You're guessing this is what the elemental plane of water is like. Nice roll, Tabron.
He found himself.
Try to open your eyes, but it stings. You're underwater. You're not used to being underwater. You don't like being underwater. But you do feel the bottom of something, like a surface. You've come through the portal, and you're now suspended upside down in water, with your hands on a seabed or a floor of some descript. And now you're going to roll a luck check, which is just going to be 1d20, and depending on the outcome, things will happen.
That sounds
I am
17 things happen.
relatively lucky.
17 things happen. No, one thing happens. As you hit the ground, you feel like you can't open your eyes. You've tried. Your hands hit the ground, and you feel around to feel what the ground is like, and it's sandy and soft. But you manage to grab hold of two pieces of metal. One is sort of a round, hollow, cylindrical object, maybe like a bracer or something, and the other one is much smaller and still round and still hollow, kind of like a ring. And while that is going on, Din, Harbeck, a slight shimmer in the air appears, and as you glance over next to the portal, you see Tabron standing there.
I told you. He's good at getting
Tabron?
back from other dimensions. Let's pull Brig out. Heave.
okay.
Wait, where? You sent Brig through?
We went to find you.
To get you. Will you help us pull?
You feel a little tug on the rope. Tug.
Coming up.
That's the I can't breathe tug. Pull Brig back out.
I am submerged in water. Can I please get out now?
Turns out the plane of water is exactly as wet as we thought it was.
Okay. You pull Brig out of the portal, and he is soaking from head to toe. And you see that he is currently holding onto what appears to be a black metal bracer and a small golden ring with a large sapphire set in it.
So
It looks like the plane
sort
of
of
water was full of
No
science.
way.
Did you actually just find the ring?
on the edge of the portal, and I'm wiping my face and going, I didn't see Tabarin. I couldn't really see much, but I found that. Oh, Tabarin. The ring.
You got a ring. A ring. I reach for it, but wanting
I
to
close
take
my
it.
hand. You've already got one.
There's 4 of us. 4 rings? It's only fair, Tabarin.
I don't want that one. I'll wait till we find the other two. You can.
Died for that.
You keep that one.
You're right here. You look fine.
Yeah, I'm the one that's all wet.
He jumped in on purpose. You jumped in on
Why
accident.
did you go in there? I never went in.
You disappeared into an alternate dimension. I was just supposed to leave you.
Yeah, but I didn't disappear into that alternate dimension.
Lad, you're the only one who can tell the difference. We're not that good in the heat of combat at telling which dimension our friends have slipped into. You'll forgive our mistake, I'm sure.
Yeah, I hope you don't think that the correct assumption to make when you go plummeting into a portal that clearly opens into the elemental plane of water is he's probably flying.
But some good came out of it.
Elemental elemental ring sent me to the plane of air.
You fell in the
It was the last thing I
hole.
could do. I was falling into the plane of water.
That's why we went in to look for you.
Anyway, everyone's fine. We all lived, and we found a ring. And what does that bracer do?
I don't know.
Here,
Can
I'll
we
put it
get
on.
out of the puddle?
Oh.
Now that's the smartest thing I've heard all day. What is some dry
Put
land?
Harbeck on dry land. Hey, Wolf! You're a regular size again. How did you do that?
His tongue sticks out and he pants at you happily. He does that head tilty thing that huskies do.
So I start stripping off my cloak and hanging it up because I'm soaking wet, and sitting down and pulling off my boots and dumping the water out of them. I say, so it turns out that it's very difficult to see in the elemental plane of water. I'm pretty sure it's salt water. It really stung when I tried to look around. But I feel like it's a safe assumption that the evil goddess thing whose manifestation we just killed again, had something to do with the disappearance of the Dragonborn.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good idea.
And
Harbeck
perhaps
takes his
they're
wet pants off and hangs them on the
on
tree
the
next
other side.
to Brieg's cloak, sits down,
Oh,
dumps out his
Harbeck.
boots.
Should we find some way to close that portal?
Did we get all the things out of it?
I can't imagine
I
that.
didn't know that there was...
I'm pretty sure there's a way to close it, but you're gonna have to know how to operate that ring.
Well, all right. I put on the ring.
Oh no.
Nothing happens.
As he's about to put it on, I'm like, don't do that.
Nothing happens.
Got to figure out how to operate it. Nothing happens.
Nope.
Wait. You put the ring on, you don't disappear?
It's pretty.
You're the only one who disappears, Tabern. And then gets
I
mad
cast
at us when we try to find
invisibility
you. That's not funny.
I just didn't think it was the smartest thing to go diving into another plane of existence.
Says the guy
Put
who
some
went
science
almost
first.
diving into a...
Teleporting yourself above a witch.
Look, if the man doesn't want to be rescued from alternate planes,
Not a gaping portal, and then
We'll-
Brig had to come and kill the witch, and then the portal was there. I'm still blaming Brig on this one.
For you
She's
deciding
trying
to
to save you.
teleport yourself high in the air above a evil goddess standing above a portal into an alternate dimension. I really don't think
In
that was
which
my
I
fault.
would grab onto the evil... It was your fault because you killed her and made her go back in.
She could have grabbed you and taken
So-
you back in. We don't know what all of the possible outcomes were.
do
All
you
we know
remember
is
the
you
part
disappeared,
before you had
and now you're
teleported
back.
into the air when you said, Brieg, Harbeck, I'm gonna need your help? Is it not reasonable to assume that Brieg thinks help means murder the thing very quickly before I fall on top of it and it eats me? Because that seems pretty reasonable. And then I tried to help you not fall in, but I don't know where your centre of mass is and I just spun you around a bit.
I just don't understand the choice of above it. Why above
I don't
it?
know.
Does that spell only work from the air?
It worked pretty good.
I don't
The element
know.
of
I
surprise.
don't deny its effectiveness, but like behind her, maybe. That's where I like to
Can
stab
we-
things from. Is behind them. Whatever.
Can we discuss the
so
real
do I-
issue here?
Look, she had that spinning vortex thing going on.
And being inside the
Can we
vortex was
address the real
definitely
issue here?
the best plan.
Yeah.
Which is, how did my wolf grow 9 sizes?
Your tattoo is glowing something fierce when that happened. Might be related.
The tattoo did it?
I think it might have.
See, and I thought it was just getting bigger because
seems
I
so
was
easy.
falling downwards.
It looks bigger because I'm closer to it.
Totally misjudged the fall.
I don't mean to sound like Harbeck, but I need a nap. My head hurts. So many things happened.
That's 2 for a nap. Brig, are you tired?
Yes, but I'm more curious than tired. I walk over.
That's
and
3
I,
for a
like,
nap.
with the ring on. With the ring on, I walk over and like stick my foot back in the puddle to see if maybe contact with water will do something.
No.
And I don't like feel any different with the ring.
No.
Okay, I pull it off and now I like start studying it more closely, looking for inscriptions or something, because the other one had an inscription on it, right? Maybe this is
Yeah,
just a ring. It's not that ring.
There's no inscription like around the band of the ring. Roll an investigation check for me.
Oh, I'm much better at those than I am at perception. Well,
Perception.
it's not like much better, but better.
Well,
Much better.
enough, apparently. After looking for an inscription around the band where you would expect to find it, you don't see anything, but you notice that the light catches the gem in an unusual way. And upon closer inspection, gazing deep into the gem, you realize that in the center of the gem is a 3-dimensional rune. You don't recognize the script. Elven, maybe? Sylvan? It's definitely a flowery script, not a solid dwarven rune or gnomish rune. It's definitely more flowery, so from one of the more elegant races, perhaps. But
Okay, so I do know Elvish, having been taken care of by the
An
elves
elf.
for so long. I picked it up, but
taken care of.
yeah. So it looks like similar to that kind of script, but it's not a rune that I recognize.
No. Not unless you /metagame speak Arquin. Which
No, I don't.
I'm guessing you don't. It's not exactly a typical language selection, so
Yeah, like common, gnomish, and let's say Aquan. No.
yeah. That'll be really useful in this campaign.
When you metagame your
That's gonna come
party
up all the
and you
time.
start, like, everybody picks one, like, totally obscure language, you make sure none of them overlap, so you're just, like, ready for things like this.
I love when two party members pick the same really obscure language and can have conversations behind the rest of the party's back in like Avian
Yes.
or Ignis or something.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll put the ring back on and say, well, you think I can use this to close the portal? And then I'll focus really hard on the portal.
Okay, roll an Arcana check
See
for
if-
me.
I imagine it takes
Okay.
quite a bit of energy to keep that portal open, and it'll probably go away on its own when it's done doing whatever it's doing, which seems to be sucking up the extra water, which I don't think I understand why we're trying to get rid of it. Like, let's let the water go. We don't want extra.
Let the
Right.
water go.
We don't want it here.
It seems like that portal and the evil demigoddess that came out of it are the most likely cause for the disappearance of the town that we should be standing in the middle of.
Okay. Did you find a town when we lowered you through there?
I couldn't really see much. I found these two things by happenstance, feeling around at the bottom of some sort of ocean.
Wait.
Maybe you should
That
put the
portal
bracer on
goes
while
to
you're
the
playing
bottom.
with the ring. Maybe they work together.
Let me see
You
them.
do manage to, as you focus on the portal and have this conversation while still maintaining some focus on the portal, hence the 11, not 21. The discs are, the spinning of the discs is slowing. The arcane rune, like the floating runes around the disc, are slowing down, and the other disc is slowing down in the opposite direction.
Okay.
So they're
So noticing that something is happening, I go shh, 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 and I like double down my focus. And
Wait,
see if I can...
before you close that, let me see the bracer.
I think that Din already took it.
Okay.
here.
Can you take the bracer, Din?
roll one more Arcana check for me, see if
Is-
you can.
Is the bracer draconic? Are we looking at a dragonborn relic here? Like, is this evidence that that's where the city went?
Do any of you speak Draconic?
Don't speak it, but I hung out with this guy Rogar, and I'd recognize like the style of the craftsmanship, perhaps. I mean, really, I just want to know if the bracer could be construed as evidence that that's where the city went.
Well, it wouldn't fit around dainty witch demigod evil avatar's breast.
Okay.
It's definitely made for a chunkier style of humanoid, and it does have some writing on it that you could guess would be draconic, but you haven't had huge amounts of experience with draconic writings. It's entirely possible that it is of draconic make.
Okay.
And as you focus intently on the portal and Lama comes to that, or Harbeck comes to that realization, the discs stop spinning, the arcane runes disappear, and the black circle, or the metal circle, contracts on itself.
Wait!
And
Don't
after a
close
moment,
the...
vanishes into thin air.
I think you're right, Brieg. I think that's where the city went. Doesn't that look like a piece of armour for a dragonborn?
Aye, could be.
Can you open it back up? Can we summon him back?
Can Dragonborn breathe underwater?
Nay.
If that's
Then they're
what-
probably
I
all dead
suspect-
anyway.
I suspect that we've lost them.
Well, they might have had a cleric or two
We'll
that could
just
cast some
consider
water
that-
breathing or...
We'll just consider that their burial. Maybe we should go to the dwarf town now.
Harbeck waits patiently for Brieg to
perhaps-
get self-righteous.
Perhaps a moment of silence is in order. If
We
we did
were
just
all
steal the
quiet.
Oh,
two.
moment of silence. Why don't you call her a sociopath? I'm the only sociopath.
So I apologize for that. I got a little out of line. But still, if we did just seal the, if I did just seal the tomb of several thousand souls, I feel like perhaps a moment of silence at least would be appropriate.
Okay, moment over. What's next on the...
Now can we
Yes.
go to the dwarf town?
Yes, I could use a bed.
3 for a nap. Let's go.
And
Yeah,
the
I
party's
could-
going to...
Can do some sleep.
Yeah.
Nap consensus.
Yeah, I will pull back on my. I'll pull back on my wet boots, which is like my least favorite thing that I have ever done.
Why'd you take them off? I'm still wearing my wet boots. Let's go.
Nap consensus, best consensus. Harbeck walks with his
Okay.
pants draped over one arm and holding his boots in the other hand.
Barefoot, which is
And
basically
I'm
booted for a dwarf.
free,
Yeah.
free
balling.
falling.
Just as
And the
pants,
party...
and undergarments intact.
Just do not
You're
roll a
assuming
perception
dwarves wear
check
underwear.
to determine if that's underwear or hair.
Chet
Just
has a
don't
great
roll the
point.
check. Don't roll the check.
Just don't
Chet has
roll
a
it.
great point. If I just killed an entire city of Dragonborn, do I get all the XP?
They're already dead. They were already dead. You just closed the portal that led to their gravesite. That doesn't
So I
count
think
as
we could
killing
take-
7,000 people.
It's not the killing
So we
that
could
gives you
take
the
fact that I
XP.
didn't
It's
just
the
level up
effort.
4 or 5 times.
You killed them too easily.
We could take the fact that I didn't level up 4 or 5 times as evidence that they were already dead. So
Very order of the
Just for
sticky.
that, they're currently all slowly drowning. They're not dead, and they will slowly drown for the next decade or so because
The clerics are frantically
water
casting
is
water
highly
breathing
oxygenated.
with every spell
Yeah.
slot.
Yep, that's
And then
what's
they
happening.
have to make really hard triage decisions.
Alright, let's clear the turn order, just in case we're going to need that again. And the party sets off towards Thorn Falls. With Brig, are you still wearing the ring?
I am still wearing the ring. As far as I can tell, it's just nice jewelry. And it didn't.
That allows you to close water portals.
Well, right, but it didn't like do anything spectacular, right, or make me feel weird or anything while that was happening.
No.
Oh.
No, it just...
I don't know. As long as there's not like some alarming thing, like I randomly get teleported to the plane of air, like happens every time Tabarin puts on his ring. I'm just gonna leave it on.
What are you talking about? I'm still wearing the ring.
He is still wearing the ring.
Oh,
That's good. Which is
yeah. So,
So-
strange.
Then, do you want earth or fire?
Yeah.
You just don't care.
I don't care.
I feel like earth would be a little on the nose for me,
Maybe
so why don't you take
fire.
earth and I'll take fire?
Oh. Okay.
And we still have to find fire, because I think we had it. Now it's gone.
Oh. Earth is buried under a temple somewhere.
But it's going to be back behind us.
but we're also looking for the Ochtrast for some reason, right?
Right.
Right.
I
Aye.
didn't decide that those were
Flagrant.
important to
The
saving
notion
the world.
seems to be bad people are hunting for things, so we find them first, gather them all into one place, so the bad people can descend upon us and get them all very easily.
Right. We're getting to the point that
Wait,
we're-
that's the plan? That's not a good plan.
Stop revealing
We
my
just-
master plan.
We just took out the
That's
evil
the cynical version of the
demi-
plan.
I mean, we protect them because we're very good. Actually,
Right.
we are surprisingly good at protecting things. Maybe this isn't a
We're
terrible
getting
plan.
better at that.
Are we?
Except for the
We
one,
just
So many
killed a
things
demigod.
stolen
except for
from
the
us?
box we lost.
Well,
Right.
But
And
we
do you
didn't
remember
know
that
there was a
book
ring
that
in
we
that
had
box.
and then we just gave it away?
we never got
We're
that
really
box
bad at
open. We don't
protecting
know what
things.
was in it except for it blows up when you try to open it.
We didn't really give
Right,
it
we
away.
just lost
We
an
gave it to
exploding
some people
box.
that sort of worship me a bit. I'm sure they're taking good care of it.
But we don't have it now. But then they're protecting it, not us. We're bad at this. This is a bad
That's a fair
idea.
point. Well, but we're getting better.
I think it'll be very hard for someone to get the Octorust from you.
Right.
But that's
Yes,
not through any fault of my own.
Perhaps
Well,
hunting the
obviously we have
Octorust
some-
is more productive than hunting the rings. Because we're not as
I
good at
don't
holding
think
on to physical objects as we are.
We don't know where the other rings are, but we know where the next oak thrust is, so let's just go get it,
It is somewhere
Yeah,
right
I have a
after we
question.
take a nap.
right?
And then sleep for the night. And then have breakfast and then a morning nap. And then lunch.
I have a very
And then an
important
afternoon
question.
nap.
I have
Right after
Harbeck.
that, I
Go
think.
ahead, then.
Harbeck.
Yeah, I'm
I
listening.
have a very important question.
Okay.
If the god balls turn into tattoos, how do we know that we're going to be able to find more of the balls? Maybe they are already other things.
We are following the only lead we have, which seems like the thing we should do. Once we get there, we'll deal with that problem.
Okay.
Did we ever ask which one this is? It can be very dangerous to try and obtain one that doesn't fit your personality.
I feel like we did talk about
Yeah, but something
But I don't
weird
remember.
happened when we were with the last one, so maybe something weird would happen again, and we just know.
For information, you did ask, and Shadow's information on the subject was, I'm sure you will find out.
That's right, because he didn't know, so he didn't want to commit
Right.
to a guess.
Or he did know and was just being mysterious.
No, because he told us everything he actually knew. And when he was being mysterious, it was because he was covering up, like, not knowing for sure.
Well,
The
yeah,
only
but
issue.
he could have been just being mysterious. Okay, so let's go take several naps as per Harbeck's
Thorn
instructions,
Falls.
and also get Harbeck as drunk as possible because he clearly needs that.
I'm not
I think he
cranky.
definitely needs a night out.
It's water poisoning. And let's just get to Thorn Falls.
So, you've got enough daylight to make it to Thorum Falls by nighttime.
Perfect.
It's a fairly short trek. You just got to follow the river north, and eventually you'll reach the falls and the entrance to the dwarven halls in like basically where the cliff face is, where the falls are. It only takes you a couple of hours to travel that distance. Are we doing anything before we travel or during travel?
Bickering seems to be...
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's on Harbeck's mind.
Okay.
As per
so-
usual, we're listening to Harbeck and Brieg talk about things.
So I do want to, while we're wandering, see if that bracer has any particular enchantment, or if it's just a bracer. Like, you don't make a
Well,
lot of
it's-
things black, so I'm curious if it might not be magical or something.
It's way too big for you to put on.
Harbeck's
The only
available
person
for
here who
science.
It might fit on is Harbeck because he has tree trunk-like wrists. So I mean,
That's fair.
Harbeck could attempt to put it on, or you could try a detect magic or something like that. But
could-
Brieg definitely
I
can't put it
have
on.
detect
Brieg
magic,
could
but
wear
we'd
it as a
have to
belt.
take a break first.
Brieg suggests
we could-
that Harbeck try this on.
Isn't that a bit morbid? Don't we think that
Here,
this
Harbeck, we know what this does. Put it on.
belonged to one of the Dragonborn that you wanted to have the moment of silence for? It looks nice. I think
Harbeck,
it'll go
most
with
of
my...
the things we've found belong to dead people.
Okay, put it on.
Yeah, we are we are murder.
That's sort of
hobos.
how we
Like,
roll.
We literally kill people and take their stuff. That's what we do.
That's
Right, but not people we like.
In character though, you're right.
These ones were just already dead.
But
And it wasn't
But
on
if-
a body, it was just in the sand. Maybe they took it off before they died. It's fine. Just see what happens.
well,
It's for
If-
science,
if it-
Harbeck, for science.
if it does have any sort of enchantment that could be useful to us, it seems sort of poetic justice that we would use it in pursuit of the forces that destroyed them, doesn't it?
Harbeck presents a wrist.
it does
I
not
help him
fit on
affix the
Harbeck's.
bracer.
Yeah, it does not fit on Harbeck's wrist, but he could wear it as an armband. It's
Just keep pushing it up till it sticks.
unusually, yeah, it's unusually comfortable and easy to fit around a bicep as opposed to a wrist.
Okay.
So yeah, it slides up there quite comfortably. And Harbeck, yeah, you feel funny. There's definitely some magic going on there because you feel a little bit funny when you put it on. Although you're not exactly sure what it does.
Harbeck is developing a lot of experience with feeling funny. Could you liken it to any of them?
No.
Okay.
No, but you do feel funny.
It's a unique funny then.
Okay, so...
It's a new type of funny to add to your repertoire of funny feelings.
Okay. So now, you are wearing the weird black armband or bracer.
Yeah.
However you'd like to list that on your character sheet, and I'll let you know if it does anything for you when it does something for you. Okay, well, I know it's going to be a short episode, but we should probably do a cut. Just
Let's
before we
go.
reach
10 more
Thorn's.
minutes will be half of the time we have left. If that, like, if
Okay.
there's something we can accomplish in 10 minutes that fits the pacing.
Well, you're just going to be reaching Thorum Falls, so we can do
We can
that.
spend
and
10
do
minutes
the,
experimenting with armband.
the bracer of
We
funny
got a new bow.
feelings.
We shot trees. I think you should punch trees.
No,
Oh,
that
yeah,
effect's
sure.
already worn off.
Yeah, that affects one. And okay, so you continue to walk up, deciding how you're going to test this armband, and as you break through the tree cover, you find yourself at the base of a cliff. It ascends quite a ways, and there's a gorgeous waterfall plummeting down the surface, and there's a tunnel entrance with some carved stones either side of the actual entrance, although the tunnel seems to be mostly natural. And there are a couple of dwarves sort of squatting / leaning / sitting against the carved stones. They're armed with halberds, they're wearing scale mail, they seem to be chatting and chewing on something and not paying much attention, and they haven't seen you yet.
Harbeck puts his pants on.
Good idea.
Strong choice.
I was going to call you out for that if you just ran up and tried to be social. I was going to be like, why did you have to remember?
I very nearly forgot, but then I
Dean was
thought,
getting ready to take her pants off because she was pretty certain that that was how you greet dwarves. That's how Harvick was going in.
the thought was actually, I should look as much like a monk as I can, because my last interaction with dwarven society was as a monk from a brewery, and that was going to be my introduction. I was like, oh, I don't have any pants on. Let's put the pants back on. So Harbeck puts on his pants, and then his boots, and he's just going to walk right up to these two and introduce himself. What was the name of my monastery? Oh my gosh. Was it at Dro?
It was at Dro, yes.
Okay. So in Dwarven, brothers, I've made a long journey from the monastery at Dro, and my companions and I are quite thirsty.
Oh, you're rather wet.
Aye, that too. There was a bit of a
Doing as wet as
kerfuffle
you
at the
are.
river.
Should we be worried?
The kerfuffle's
No,
been
we
handled.
killed the kerfuffle.
Have you? Do you visit Norfall often?
We regularly trade with the Dragon King down there.
We may
Okay,
have
we'll
a
see
bit
them
of
for a couple of
unfortunate
days.
news. Who would be best to deliver unfortunate news to over some drinks?
Been one of
And
those
food.
weeks, has it?
I would
Aye,
like sausage.
it's been quite a journey. There isn't a lot of civilization where you can set up a good brewery between here and Port Maverick.
You're a
I'm
brewer,
not
you
sure
say.
that asking the dwarves for sausage is the best plan. I've heard
Aye,
rumours
But I'm
about
very-
a
this.
brewer I am,
Meats.
and perhaps I have some interesting recipes from halfway across the world here, from the other side of the Illyrian Sea. I was trained at the monastery at Duro.
The prince is away at the moment on a hunting trip north of the mountains, but I'm sure when he returns, he'd love some of your hospitality. You can tell him what's going on in the rest of the world. It's been some time since we've had communications from our kin from across the bay. You and yours are welcome, just don't cause any trouble.
We should go.
Din.
And did you say that the prince is
What?
hunting north of the mountains?
Aye?
Is it? I assume that means that there's a path through the mountains and an exit on the other side.
Certainly is.
Is there someone that we could hire,
Could we
perhaps, to guide us?
Meet him on
along
that
path?
side?
You'll need to speak to the prince first. I mean, he's not going to let you travel through his domain without meeting you.
Brig, we need
Of-
to.
Of course, that sounds brilliant.
We,
That means we'll get to just stay here for a few weeks till he gets back, right?
I doubt it'll
Maybe
be
we
that
could all
long.
use a break.
He's,
Or however long it is. I'm sure we could use a break.
you
lads,
certainly look like you could use a break.
where's your favourite place to get a drink?
Everywhere?
Right, but if
That's a silly
What
question
he meant
coming
was
from one of
the
our kin.
closest.
if a thankful friend were to offer to meet you when your shift is done and buy you a drink for your hospitality, where would you like to be met?
I'd probably drink at the Bearded Maiden.
We'll see you there tonight then.
I look forward to it. And with that, they usher you inside. After a short...
Brig, what's a bearded maiden?
Take
Well-
a look around. Do you see how many of the dwarves have facial hair?
All of
Yeah,
them?
about 50% of them are women.
Oh.
After a short journey through an uncut stone tunnel with no carvings or anything, the inside of the mountain opens up into what is clearly a dwarven city. It's open air, there are walls and buildings carved into the mountainside in its entirety, and you're in an entire thriving dwarven settlement right now. But now is a good time for us to take a break before we decide what the party is going to be doing for the rest of the session. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll see you next time, and if you're watching on Twitch, we'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Yay.